All right, look. Something came across my mind today. And, all right, this got nothing to do with the Knicks. It's got nothing to do with Bible prophecy, although it's a little off of Bible prophecy. So it's got nothing to do with neither of that. It's just something I was thinking about that I wanted to share. All right, Melania Trump came out last week and was saying basically she had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein and nothing to do with Ghislaine Maxwell, and everybody in the media, which I don't trust the media anyway. But one of the things they were saying was nobody knew she was getting ready to do this. And something came to my mind. Now, what I'm about to say is just my opinion. It ain't got nothing to do with no proof. It ain't got nothing to do with, no insight or anything. I'm just trying to tell you a scenario. So look, from where I sit, Melania Trump was a working girl in Europe. Melania Trump was being passed around by the elites because they do that. That is real. And I've heard that I got a whole file on women's testimonies about being passed around on the elite level, like financially powerful, politically powerful elites. So Melania Trump, in my view, was one of them. Now, I'm going to just be straight and street with y'all. A hoe know and smell when it's time to get that paid, to get paid. So she ends up becoming a quote unquote honest woman because Donald Trump married her. But not just that. It's been a long tradition, particularly among, let's say royalty among Europeans, that the best thing a woman could do for a wealthy European is produce a son if they're married. She did that. She produced a son. Not just a son, but Donald Trump's favorite son, Barron. So that makes her in, like she's down. Now, Trump's first term, it was all over the place. Homegirl was not sleeping in the White House with her husband. She spent most of the time at Trump Tower. And it appeared to everybody that, when you see them together, they don't really look like they're together. So I thought about this and I said, okay, supposing this. She has the son, Barron. She's entitled to some serious loot. And she decides now, she gets to the position right now where she got Donald like nobody else by the short hairs. Like she got him by the short hairs like nobody else. Like there's nobody else out here that we know about that got it on him except for that Maxwell lady who's afraid to talk because she don't want to end up like her boy Epstein. But Melania, though, if she was to say something and then get killed, that would be more than suspicious. So she's kind of protected, shielded. So supposing she did all that, what she came out with last week, claiming I'm distance from everybody, when there's all kind of pictures of him, her with Epstein, her with Donald Trump, her with Maxwell. She come out saying, I don't know them, I never really met them, we were just casual friends, my email didn't mean anything. But supposing she did that, so that Congress can subpoena her to testify. And supposing she does testify, and supposing when she does testify, she spills all the marbles. See, she can't be prosecuted for coming out and giving a press conference in line. I mean, her husband does that all the time. They can't prosecute her for that. But if she was to come and testify in the Congress or the Senate and spill the beans on everything, she would sink her husband. She would still have his money. and he be gone. He be gone directly to jail. So it's possible Mrs. Trump is holding the royal flush. And it's possible that she ain't gonna try to blackmail homie, because to blackmail him is to set yourself up for an accident. No, she already put it out there. Nobody knew she was gonna come out there claiming, everybody claiming they didn't know. So she came out there with a prepared speech that I'm telling you she ain't right. But if it causes her to be subpoenaed, watch out. Because she called for testimonies during her speech. She said they should call everybody. Ooh, why would she do that? Now, once she goes up to testify, nothing's going to happen to her. She's protected because all eyes are on Mrs. Trump. And if she wants to, she can send the orange man away and still keep all the loot, because he's been money grabbing since he's been in office. Don't get it twisted. Homeboy may have blown a lot of loot. He blown more than most people make in 10 lifetimes. But homeboy know how to con and get that money when it's time. And he been doing that. So that's just my thought. I'm thinking my signal would be if they subpoena her to testify. That would be the signal. If they subpoena her to testify, she gonna blow the doors off. But we'll see. I just wanted to share that thought. It wasn't, like I said, it's got nothing to do with nothing. Nobody told me anything. I ain't got no premonition. I'm just saying. It just came to me. I was like, wait a minute. Why would she do that? Because what she really did, it was like a couple weeks ago, this dude did suicide by a cop. Well, in other words, he murdered somebody. The cops surrounded him. He did not want to go to jail, so he ran at the cops knowing, with a knife in his hand, knowing they were going to blow him away. What if she just did kill Donald without hurting herself? Like Donald's suicide. Like, in other words, what if she just did, I'm telling you, I ain't got nothing to do with it, and I dare you to bring her testimonies and let's get it all open, and they call her. And she did all that so that they would call her. And she didn't have to blackmail nobody. She kept her mouth shut to everybody. But she smells when it's time to get paid. Well, I guess we'll see. Y'all enjoy your evening. Shalom.